Morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Thursday, the 27th. Really nice day out there. Nice to see some blue sky first thing in the morning. So what have we got? I mean, last night it would look like we're in a sort of coal situation, but they put it on the chart today as a sort of small ridge of high pressure. Now the jet streams are sort of trailing down here, down over the west of Ireland and into the Bay of Biscay, and that's really where they stop, and they're not moving towards us. So we're in quite a sort of slack air, and it's definitely drier than it has been over the last few days in terms of air mass. And you can see that if you just look at the follow-on chart hours time, it just things don't come towards us. And the same on Saturday. They're just not really progressing over us. So hopefully we've got a nice weekend in prospect. TAF's short and sweet from Farnborough. All day today, but 4 o'clock, variable 3 knots. I think you've got a light southwesterly airflow. Very, very light. And the wind could be all over the place today. 10k viz and 4,500 feet, which is really well. The rest is the same, both Heathrow and Gatwick, very similar forecast. Upper winds, not strong, but as you see that southerly southwesterly drift across us, 5 knots at most during the day. SatPic looks a little bit similar to yesterday. There's that sort of sliding gap in the middle, really. That's nice and clear, nice air mass, less cloud in there. So should be. Just looking at the infrared stuff, this is sliding towards us, and we may start to see some of the upper cloud to the west of us late afternoon. But fingers crossed, it won't cause us any problems with cutting the sun out or reducing the sort of soaring potential. Just don't go too far west, is the message today. Temperatures should feel like you don't need a coat and beanie hat out at the launch point. Today, 18 degrees, I think, at best. So I've been sort of playing around with about 17 degrees. Well, they're about 8 at the moment, going down. I reckon dew points will be down about 3 to 4. So pretty good temperature split for today. And punching those numbers in, I can see out the window now we've already got enough temperature to get some cumulus forming. So by 1 o'clock, I think you should see cloud base certainly above sea level at 4,000 feet. And then you can see the sort of gap between the two lines is reasonably close. Afternoon goes on, that pulls out a little bit. And again, we should see cloud base 4,500 feet above sea level, maybe even a bit higher. The dew points go down to about 3. You could see 5,000 feet above sea level. So pretty reasonable. The Lark Hill ascent shows that we've clearly obviously broken this low level inversion here already. You've got an inversion up here about 5,000 feet. This line here will slowly move along here, and the inversion so it'll limit the tops to 5,500, 6,000 feet. And as the afternoon goes on, I think we're going to see slightly smaller cumulus. It won't spread out, hopefully, around here. Chance of spread out further north, I think there is a little bit earlier on, but as the day goes on, that should reduce as things dry out. This, say, inversion here starts to weaken and reduce. Top Meteo suggesting it should be going by, I reckon by 10 o'clock it'll be okay out there. By 11 we should be launching the grid, I would have thought. And as the day goes on, to meet us by lunchtime, and 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 1,500 meters in this area here, out towards Wales, should be good. I'm not quite so sure why it's sort of saying not too far north. I would have thought up to Husbos should be fine in this area here, south of Birmingham. Should be good. I wouldn't go too far west later in the day because the approaching high cloud, but certainly a reasonable area. And cloud by midday, scattered cumulus over us. I think some chance of spread out here. And you can see that from the sat pic where there was a line of cloud arcing over East Anglia. It's still going to be a bit moist in that area there, but should be pretty good over us towards the northwest and north. You can see they're showing the influence of the frontal system out to the west and the upper cloud associated with that. By sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to be seeing it out to the west of us, fairly close by then. And it should run till, should be at least 6 o'clock this evening. So, pretty late finish, I would have thought. Quite a long day, folks, this time of year. So I would have thought good for 500k today, but you've got to squeeze it in the right area. Top Meteo suggested distance and task area. Up to the sort of Husbos area. Up towards Birmingham, out towards the Mind. And again, not too far to the west. I think probably Shaftesbury, Sherborne area would be far enough to the west. So very reasonable day, folks. I'm sure there's a grid out there already. Yeah. So it should be good. In terms of airspace, 1 or 2 things going on. There's parachuting late afternoon at Tidworth Barracks, which is just sort of outside the danger area, and it's 17:45 to 18:45. I don't think that's going to affect anybody, just to be aware of. The danger areas, they've activated this one, the easterly Salisbury Plain danger area, D128, all weekend, which is unusual for the bank holiday weekend. Normally they close it down, which is a bit odd. So something going on there. The Kevor temporary danger area. Yeah. They are doing ground, they've notified it today, but apparently they're doing ground tests. So you should be able to access through it quite easily today. They've only notified it apparently because they might get airborne. Yeah, to 50, yeah. So if you're in that area, you're crossing that way, give them a call, either on Boscombe Downs frequency or their radio frequency 129980. And apart from that, taking out all the hang glider stuff, it's quite quiet. These are all hang glider sites in Wales, and Sywell is active with aerobatics for various portions of the day. Okay. In terms of airspace, folks, in the south of England, quite quiet. Operationally, we've got a grid out there. We've got an aircraft floating around, possibly between 10 and 11.
Yeah, 1,500 feet.
Yeah, it's what, 146. Yeah, we saw it last year. It operates out of Cranfield. It's Met Office research, floating around at low level out to the west of us, doing runs. Yeah, so if you see it, be aware of it. Last time it was down at 500 feet, floating around. Yeah, going quite quickly. So that's something to be aware of locally. We should have finished the runway bits and pieces by 9:30, and we'll be back on the main runway. It's 27, and I think, as I say, it's light winds. They're going to be all over the place, so there's unlikely to be a change of runway direction, but we might have a tailwind occasionally at times.
3 p.m. onwards.
3 p.m. now, okay.
Yeah, 3 to 6 somewhere.
There's a possible 737
from Norwich.
Yeah, from Norwich at any time after 3 o'clock. So be aware of that. Right, that's about it, folks. Go and have a good day. Stay safe, and we'll get the grid launched as soon as we possibly can.